Well, hello there folks, thanks for clicking on the video and welcome back to the channel. Going to be doing an overnighter tonight. Absolutely been desperate to do one for the last wee while, so finally actually getting out into the big shelter for an overnighter. The weather's perfect for it as well. Really looking forward to it. It's probably about 14-15 degrees, so it's actually quite warm. A bit in the cloudy side, so hopefully later on it might sort of clear up a little bit and maybe get a bit of a star show. So I'm going to be doing the shelter again. I think I was sort of saying in the last video that some of the sort of moss had gone off the actual peak of the actual roof itself. And again, if I'm going to be staying in there, I'm just want to make sure if it does rain, I'm as waterproof as possible. So I'm going to show you in a wee minute just what I'm going to be doing. Got some really good food to actually cook up. Can't wait to actually use the picnic table again for actually having a wee meal later on. And just a bit of a chill out and enjoy it. Okay, so I'll take you over to the big camp and I'll show you what's up. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm in just now. So basically on this side here, you can actually see that the moss has sort of slipped down on various sort of places. So just going to sort of remoss that. Now the good thing about this actual side here is it's actually started growing itself, just with the moss and all that sort of things, clover and everything. So really good. I'm pleased with that, but as I said, I just want to try and get as much of it covered as well, so from the outside it's completely natural. But from the inside, I'll show you this now. So if you look up, you can actually generally see there's so many gaps just in the actual roof itself. So just trying to get as much of that sort of filled in as possible. So it's back to just sort of gathering the actual moss. And again, what I always tend to do is don't take too much from one individual area and sort of destroy that area. So it's more a case of lots of little bits of as often as you possibly can, just for the coverage. I'm not needing an awful lot, so it shouldn't take too long to do it. From the point of view of transporting it back and forward, as opposed to actually having to carry it in handfuls and everything, I just use a tarp. So I've basically just got a 3x3 tarp and actually just place all the moss actually on the actual tarp itself. It just makes life a little bit easier. And again, it's just sort of pulling away at the actual thing, so I want to try and keep the pieces as solid as I actually can, so when it comes to it, it's more in one piece as opposed to it necessarily being in lots of little pieces. So I'll just get some of that just now, and then as I said, just move on to the next bit, and then the next bit and the next bit. That just makes it nice and easy to carry back. Okay, so that's the mossing done. Sure, it probably wouldn't have been necessary. I don't think I said it's meant to be raining, but it is Scotland. The forecast can change within minutes. But I'm just going to get the actual camp set up now, sort of get everything sort of laid out as best I possibly can, just to try and make it as comfortable a night as possible. But I'm really looking forward to actually getting a bit of chill out time in the actual chair again. Don't know if you've actually seen that particular video, but I'll put a link to it, actually building that chair. Really, really good fun. And I've got the Pioneer chair with me tonight as well, just for actually sitting outside. So hopefully the cloud sort of does clear a little bit and I might get a few sort of star shows, which should be quite good. But as I said, just going to get this actually unpacked just now and get myself all sorted out. Not too far away from dinner, so start to get a wee bit of prep work done on that as well. As I was sort of saying, just in case it actually rains, what I've done is I've actually taken the Gore-Tex bivvy, so I'm actually just going to put the sleep mat in it. Now, it's actually meant to be quite warm tonight, so there may very well be a case of I actually just remain clothed and don't actually use the sleeping bag. I always like just to actually have the option more than anything else. I can actually decide. I've got the sleeping bag there, obviously, so it just literally depends on how I actually feel later on. Last couple of nights, it has been reasonably cold. During the actual night, I've been sort of going out and having a walk each night just to sort of see what the temperatures feel like. But we'll just play it by ear. And I said if I'm going to put the sleeping bag up, it's always the last thing I actually do. So I'll leave it like that just now. So that's me got my bedding all sorted out, so reasonably organised. I'm going to get some food on reasonably soon as well though, because I don't want to lose any of the actual light and I just want to get myself settled in for a good one. Again, a little bit on the cloudy side, but hopefully that sort of disappears over the next wee while. But what I am really looking forward to, my kids bought me this for my actual birthday, so it is absolutely fantastic, really, really good quality. So I'm a massive Hobbit fan, and basically it's got, if you can see in the bottom, and then it's got the prancing pony. So basically this is going to be my first time out at camp actually using it, so really, really excited about it. What I didn't realise though, it's actually 1.5 pints, so I just need to watch how much I'm actually drinking. But it's really, really nice, really good quality all the way through. The interior of it is really good. So I'm going to sit here, have a beer, completely and utterly chill out, and then I'll catch up with you once I'm actually just about to get dinner on. But looking forward to it. Nice bit of steak for dinner tonight, so but cheers. So I'm just going to cut some firewood just now. Now, I'm not going to be using the bottom camp for an actual open fire and probably more until sort of winter.
So I'm basically still going to use the twig stone for tonight and for the cooking, etc. as well. So again, it just needs to be not the biggest bits in the world. But just lots of it. Because as I said, I'm planning on actually having the fire quite late on. And just sort of being able to sort of chill and hopefully get that ambient light that I was talking about when I actually did the video last time. Making the actual firewall. So just going to cut this down, and then I'm actually going to split the actual woods itself just to actually make sure it catches. And I also need to try and get the sawing horse, the other sawing horse, actually done over the next few wee while as well. So. Now, nothing too bushcrafty about this, because as I said, I'm wanting to be conscious of light, so I'm literally just going to use a wee fire starter. What can I say? That looks lovely. Wash it down with a wee brew dog. Let's see what it tastes like. That was lovely. That's a chili spice. Sacrilege, I know, but done to perfection, just the way I like it. I'm not a blue person. I definitely want my cow to be dead. Okay, I'm just going to finish this, and then I said I'm going to get the sort of camp set up, just for later on, get the actual fire and all that thing sorted. See you in a wee bit. So it's that time of night where you're just sort of sitting there waiting for the actual darkness to come in and the hope that you get a clear sky. The northern lights have been out, and there's been quite a lot of photographs posted online over the last few days. So it would be amazing to see it. I've never actually seen it out at this camp, but I have seen it quite a few times in the past. But it would be special to actually see it, because the shelter itself obviously is just open, so when I'm actually lying there I can see up to the sky. But as I say, I'm just going to sit here, finish off this one, relax a little bit until it gets a little bit darker. So I'm going to hook up with you once I actually get the fire going. That's always the sort of next stage in the actual thing, and then see about this ambient light. Hopefully it works. Okay, see you in a wee bit. Well, that's lovely. The firewall's actually making a big difference, sort of putting ambient light back onto the actual camp, etc. So really pleased with it. So as I said, just going to sit here and chill. Clouds are actually clearing a wee bit, so a few stars out. So as I said, I could just sit for hours, absolute hours, just sitting there watching the actual flames. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So barring any incident, I will see you all in the morning. Have a nice night. Well, good morning, folks. That was a lovely sleep. Really good. I sort of went to bed about 10:30, and it's 10:30 now. So a really good sleep. So woken up to a beautiful morning, really nice, very calm. So going to get up, have a fry up just now. Really looking forward to that. And then got a wee plan in my head. I was sort of sitting there last night with my new mug, and I had kept on having to put it down on the ground and kept on almost kicking it over. So plan of attack is I want to try and make a table just beside the fire pit, just so I can actually place things on. Even my plate after I've had my dinner, things like that. So we'll pop up into the actual woods and get some resources, but fry up first.
just the different thicknesses of actual twigs and that, just for getting the fire started.
So I have to say, it's always one of my favourite parts of camping, is the fry up. Wow. It just sets you up for the actual day. So I'm just going to sit here, finish this, and then get up into the woods and start the project. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do is obviously just cut off the actual end of one of the fallen trees, just so I can actually have that as the actual main table base. And then I'm trying to decide whether to have like 3 table legs, or alternatively just 1 table leg cut with a 1-inch actual circular bit at the top and then just slotted on. But I'll show you just now, there's so many bits around here, it is going to be an awful lot of sawing, so it is going to take quite a lot of time, but I think it'll be worth it in the end.
So even if you sort of see all the tree stumps there, there's just a lot of it, so certainly plenty of options.
So I'm going to give this one a try, see how it is. Again, obviously the problem with there, you can actually see there's a wee split, so what I don't want to do is go and actually cut it, and then when I actually drill the hole for putting the actual thing through, it doesn't work. But start off. So there we go. Just not sure what's going to happen when I'm going to drill into it. It's actually pretty punky. But I sort of knew that before I started, but also wanted a wee bit of an exercise. But we'll go back, give it a wee drill, see what happens to it. Well, what can I say? That was hard work, to put it delicately. I knew it was going to be, but as I said, to get that sort of size of disc itself, it's the only way I've got. I don't have a chainsaw or anything at all. Everywhere I go, wherever I go in the woodlands and all that sort of things, I'm always keeping an eye out for something like that, so that I can actually use. I know there's probably companies out there that actually do them, because I'd love to make sort of like 3-legged or 4-legged tables and things like that with it as well. But we're going to see how we go with that. It's a little bit too punky, I think. As soon as I start drilling it with a Scotch auger, it's probably just going to split. But lessons learned more than anything else. You know, again, sort of, I should have really read it at the end of the wood. What I was hoping to do was actually cut it and then cut another slice, so I've actually got sort of a fresher bit in the middle. But once I actually cut it on the bit that's there, I can actually see all the way through. It's actually fairly punky all the way through. So we'll see how we go. Might be able to get something out of it, but I need time to rehydrate more than anything. I said, I'm incredibly thirsty. Okay, so just gonna drink a wee bit more of this, and then I said we're gonna see if we can get the table fixed. So easy to get lost, so just make sure you put it back in your packaging. Okay, so I'm just going to try it really slowly, just to try and see if by doing it slowly I can make it work without splitting. Might work. Okay, so the next bit is just making the leg itself. Now what I'm going to do is, just for the top, so I'm going to whittle down like a 1 inch, because the Scotch auger is 1 inch. I'll show you it when we're there. Okay, let's go give it a try. Now, if I'd already cut that down and had a 1 inch bit there, chances are that would have probably broken and I wouldn't have been able to use the sort of full force. But now what I'm going to do is actually drill a top so I can see how wide I need to be. Perfect. Maybe a bit wobbly, that'll do. Perfect. So there we go, perfect for what I'm needing it for. So as I said, it's just a wee table just beside the Pioneer chair, just for when I'm sitting at night. Like last night, I said I nearly kicked it over about 20 times, so very, very simplistic, so easy to actually make. But as I said, if anything, it was just maybe getting a slightly better bit of wood, but it serves a purpose. Well, that's me unfortunately come to the end of the day. Absolutely epic, really enjoyed that trip, long overdue. Haven't been actually an overnighter for here for absolutely ages, so I can't quite remember when it was, but really good time. Again, just in this, as I said last time, happy place. So it was great testing out the actual firewall. What a difference that actually made to the sort of ambient light inside the actual shelter last night. And I love little projects like that, just like that table. Brilliant, just love that sort of bushcrafty type thing. So really enjoyable weekend. So thanks very much for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.